Welcome to Annitude, a relationship podcast about love, friendships, and everything in between. Hello, this is Annitude with Anna. I'm here with Chelsea. Chelsea, say hello to the listeners.
Hello, guys. What it do? What's going on?
Okay, I was going to say you better say something like at least somewhat with a personality because hello, guys, is not you.
You know what it is. It's chill.
Yeah, there we go. Chill by Chell. So yes, Chill by Chell is here. Let's tell the listeners how we met. So she doesn't know me as Taco Bell, as Anna Burr.
No,
She
you
knows me
said
as
it right the first
Taco
time.
Bella. She doesn't even know Anna Burr. Who is that? So do you
Yes,
want to tell the listeners how we met?
I would love to. So I don't know where I even want to start with this. So basically, let's just start. It's a love story on Craigslist. Craigslist. If we all are familiar what Craigslist is, or I guess still is, my whole perception of Craigslist before I even decided to utilize it for what I was using it for and looking for people. Um, I thought it was like full with a bunch of
Psychopaths and weirdos?
yeah, pretty much. I didn't know what to expect. And at the time I was seeking a DJ for my events. So I had like a nice little description of what I was looking for. And then, I had some people chime in, had some people hit me up. And then all of a sudden I got this message on IG. And mostly I get them through like email. So already I was like, why do they like go through the
Ew, why are they finding me?
like how did they even find yes, I was like, okay, IG, Anna Burr. Again, I don't know who that is. And I was like, all
Never
right,
will know.
cool. She was like, I'm down, I'm interested. And I was like, okay, this looks normal, not what I'm not the general thing that I think of with Craig's. So I was like, okay, let's do it. We met up at what is it, Badass Coffee of Hawaii,
Yes.
Towson. Shout outs to them, love them. And there it was. It all started on Craigslist though.
It all
So
started on Craigslist. I mean, I was picturing driving up to this coffee place and being catfished into sitting next to a 1,000-pound man in a motor scooter. But it was Chelsea, and I was pleasantly surprised. And what was your first impression of me?
first impression. I think like honestly, right? I didn't really do a lot of investigating on what you even looked like, to be completely 200. So that's when I was doing
Which is
my
rude because I have so many pictures on Instagram. I think I have 10 now, but you could have looked.
I did the deep dive like 5 minutes before you rolled up. So I was
Okay.
like, oh, she has a podcast. Like that's dope. Like I have my podcast. So that was already like ooh, okay, didn't expect that. Like that's dope. Um, and then I was like, she looks pretty like normal. That's not the vibe I was
Which I'm
expecting.
not, but continue.
So first impression, I guess like when you rolled up and I was like, okay, like uh a normal looking uh like I guess like attractive, like like a not like in a non Craigslist way. Is that
Yeah,
make
you were like, she's gonna have no teeth and
yeah, like I
a limb missing. She's not gonna look vibey for Chill
she's
by
not gonna
Chell
look
events.
vibey at all. And I was like, wow, she's like presently look normal. She's like has like her own thing going. And then I'm not sure if I thought you were funny like straight day one. I don't know if you showed me the funnies day one.
I don't think so. I think I was more like questioning what the Chill by Chell system was. I was like, what's
Right?
going on with this? What is this? What is happening?
I felt
So
like it was
explain
very
to
like
the listeners what the Chill by Chell. So Chelsea is a founder of a business that is for creatives, and she's going to explain what that actually entails because that's how I found her, and I DJ'd one of her events. So tell everybody what Chill by Chell is.
absolutely. So Chill by Chow, I came up with the concept after COVID. Well, I guess technically COVID was on and off. COVID was on and off.
Yeah, it
And
still is. It's like a bad relationship. It's here,
right.
It's not. You think it's gone, and then it shows up drunk at your door one night, you know?
Hits your DMs. You thought you
Yeah.
blocked them.
You
Somehow
you
they
can't
send you an
escape
email.
it.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was like, I used to throw a lot of parties at my house, and then COVID hit, and then I don't know. I saw how people, when I would hang out with people, like during on and off during COVID, like just dying for connection, just dying to like connect, like talk to people, and just not always like partying on the party level, but like in a real way, and just to like connect and network with other people. So I was like, huh, like that math equation meme where I was like putting two and two and I got four, and then I like put four and four and got eight. Like I
Yes.
just kept like doubling up with my ideas with that idea alone of connection. So I thought connection, and then I was like, okay, community. Like I think people want to feel more of like community, especially in Phoenix. I didn't feel like there was a lot of safe spaces where you could like come together and meet like-minded people or creatives. So community, connection, and then I was like conversation. Like people want to literally just talk, like not always on the let's take some shots, guys. Like
Yeah.
not always on like the shallow level. Like people actually want to conversate with other people. So those are like the three pillars of Chill by Chill. And I essentially do like roaming events around the valley. Phoenix, I've done one now, Guadalupe. You'll catch me anyway. You
The
catch me
Dusty
any.
Guadalupe trails, as everybody
We'll
was
get into that.
saying. So, yeah, so I DJ'd Chelsea's event on New Year's, and I didn't know what to expect. I actually got a flat tire before I came, which was hilarious. I was like, Jesus, this would be, my first impression is I'm going to be late to this party. A homeless man actually helped me pump up my tire, which was very nice. And then I was like, got a blast, and left him in the dust. And then I DJ'd some fire hits, and there was a lot of good energy and good people there. And it was the first time I've spent New Year like without people that I knew. So it was like very different and interesting because usually I'm with my family or I'm out with friends. So this was definitely a new experience to be around. I didn't know, except for Chelsea, that one time we met at the coffee shop, I didn't know anybody, but I was so comfortable. And Chelsea brought me food, made sure I had drinks, and was like very attentive. And I was like, oh, she's cool. Like she actually cares about people, and these people actually care about her. So I was like very impressed. So then how did we develop a friendship? Like after that night, like I feel like we just immediately jumped into being like super close. And
Right.
everybody's like, oh, I always see you with that Chelsea girl. And like my friends even were like, chill by chill, chill by chill, chill by chill.
You already know what it
So
is.
not even knowing you, but what was our next interaction? I think we went
Um,
somewhere together.
yes. So what had happened after New Year's, that was like a good little introduction. I still felt very business though with you. Like I was like, what's the dynamic? Is it just going to be business? Is it going to be like a
Are we just going
developing?
to be walking into a restaurant with our briefcases and
Yeah.
showing each other the data?
Show me the money. Is that what
Yeah.
it's going to be? Is that what's going to be? So what had happened was for the next one, it was what was the next event after? It wasn't Euphoria. Was it Euphoria after that one?
No, it
Oh
was
no,
the
networking. It was a networking event.
yeah, networking event we had to do. We went to do
Outreach.
outreach in Tempe.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what it
yes.
was. You were like, hey, do you want to go
Pass out
pass
flyers.
out flyers in Tempe for this next event? And I was like, sure. And then I show up and Chelsea has the shots ready to go. And I was like, okay, now I'm comfortable. Now I know what the vibe is. She's
Right,
down
right,
to
right.
clown. And then we
Absolutely.
started talking about my sugar daddy
Oh,
experiences,
escapades. Yes.
escapades. And then I convinced Chelsea to get into the sugar baby hustle, which was, we'll get to that on your podcast. I can't even go there. It'll make me
It
sick.
always gets her very upset, guys.
It
So we
does. It
won't.
gets me very pissed off. So we went and passed out flyers. She introduced me to mozzarella sticks from this restaurant called
Oh,
Zips, which were like egg rolls, but mozzarella sticks. And changed my life. And
Absolutely.
she got her car towed in the same
Oh
same
God.
night, and I was there to witness it. And like, then yeah, so and then the next day you got an eye infection, and then you were like, I'm in the hospital.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's 2
Wow.
a.m. I'm still here. And I was like, oh
There
my
was so much
God.
going on. It was just like a
I
rapid.
think, yeah, that I saw like your trauma, like you got your car towed, you almost lost an eye, according to that nurse. And yeah, and then we just started hanging out ever since. And then we went to Vegas together, and that was a real true test. Because like, if your friendship can withstand Vegas or Miami, then you're
For
bound for life.
lifers. Possible
Yeah.
for lifers right there.
Yeah. So we went to Vegas together. We were with somebody else that was kind of like a wet blanket. And we kind of bonded over the hatred of this person. Well, not hatred. I don't hate her because I don't really know her, but like the disdain for her behavior,
Correct.
because she was like killing the vibe. And we bonded over that, like trauma bonded. And then we went to Vegas again, and once again trauma bonded. I mean, Chelsea got banned from the Wynn Hotel and Casino for having mushrooms in her backpack.
Portobello, guys. I love Portobello so much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then yes, I'm basically hanging out with the criminal on a constant basis. But yeah, so friendship is very interesting, because I feel like a lot of people think that longevity equals friendship. And I've made the mistake before where I'm like, oh, I've been friends with this person for like 3 years. I gotta stay friends with them because like that would be crazy if like we just stopped talking. No, it's
No.
not. Sometimes you just need to cut the dead weight off. Like, it's very necessary for growth and progression and self exploration. Like, I know a lot of people that I have cut off after I, had time to think about how they were sucking energy from me, and I was providing the lols, and they were not providing any lols. So I'm a loller, as everybody knows. I love to laugh. So lolling is laughing out loud. Like, you love to loll, or you like to partake in lols. So me
Correct.
and Chelsea developed a pyramid system of lols, because I think there's only like a few people that I can count outside of my family that I think are hilarious, and Chelsea happens to be one of them,
Uh,
because a lot of people do not know how to lol. Like, they're too serious, or they're awkward, or they're shy,
mm,
or they've never had traumatic events happen to them, and so they're just boring. And like, I have to lol. If we're not lolling, we're not friends. Like,
Pretty
end of story.
much. Can we get that?
So yeah, will you get into the lol pyramid?
Absolutely.
So
And can I also just share the fact that I feel like my laugh is actually a part of my branding for Chill by Child, because
yeah,
nobody knows me other than like my laughter. My laughter, it guides me. Okay, it's like a guiding light for people to know. Oh, Child must be here because they hear me laughing. It's not a good day. It's not a good time, if I'm not laughing. Period. So on that note, we're gonna get into this Lawler pyramid, the
yes.
LOL pyramid. Okay. So I
First
kind
of all, wait, can I say something?
absolutely.
Can you change the battery in your fire alarm? Because all I hear is a yeah, she just turned her head super slowly, like it was like a dramatic, huh? Like, damn well you hear that.
I you know
Wait for it.
what? When you're kind of like used to it, like it becomes like kind of comfort. Like it's like a droning in the background that you're just kind of like
Okay.
adjusted to. But you know what? For you, I'll look into it.
There
I'll
it
look.
goes again.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like it makes me like viscerally like cringe, because I hate hearing people's batteries of their fire alarms dying. It's mostly for safety. It's against, the fire code. You gotta update your
you're
batteries
absolutely correct.
yearly.
I will get on. I will get on
Thank
that.
you.
You
I
get that
appreciate you.
right.
I can't come over until you do that, because
Okay,
I don't know, how
absolutely.
would I know there's a fire if I
Right.
can't hear your fire alarm?
And I'm a fan of candles, so you never know.
You're a fan of candles, and I don't know. Me and Lou, we don't deserve that. We don't deserve
It
to
was
be
like
feel unsafe.
Lou just looked over with
He
his
said,
cut the
"What
camera.
bitches?" Lou is her dog, which also I think we bonded over because you were like, "Oh, I have a poodle too," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I have, crusty poodle, my pusty, my crusty poodle, Jolene." So, back to the Lawler pyramid. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
pyramid of laws. Go ahead.
All right, so we have two tiers essentially. We have the Lawler's general term and then the non-Lawlers. That's like the
Yes.
first two tiers, I would say. Um, Underneath the general term of Lawlers, like you're just and with lolling, okay. With that, I think we need to even break that down. I think with Lawler, it's you laugh in general. Like generally you can make the person laugh. And you're
Yes.
just a laughable person. You laugh naturally.
Give an
Uh,
example of a celebrity that's a Lawler.
ooh, that's a good one. I would say like Lana
Abby and
Del Rey.
Alana from Broad City.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the type of
They set
people
the
we're
tone.
talking about.
Yes, yes, yes. Because they set the tone, they banter, they don't leave the other one hanging ever.
Right,
You always
right.
see some attempt.
And they don't
And
have
that's
to explain their jokes. Like that's another
right.
thing. It's very important if you're a professional lawler like myself that you just let the joke like explain itself. And
Right.
usually if you're actually funny, you don't have to explain what you just said to people.
Right.
So,
And they just
yeah.
roll with it. You can roll with
Yeah.
it. And honestly, this is what I always say. Even if you're not really much of like a banter person or like a jokester person, minimum, just laugh. Just laugh, but be genuine about it if you
Yeah, don't
can.
do a fake. I have a fake laugh. You haven't heard it yet, but
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I
yeah,
heard.
no, I
I
haven't fake laughed for you,
I
but I
finally
fake
know you
laugh for
laugh.
like at work coworkers that like working hard or hardly working. I'm like, no, no, and then slap my knee. And then immediately roll my eyes when they leave the room. But um yeah, lolling is a team activity. It's a group project, if you will, if you're in a
Absolutely.
group. So the non-lollers. So these
Oh,
are the ones that suck the life out of like the jokes. Like they are just there and they're not understanding or they're not participating or they're kind of like, oh, what are you talking about? Like those are
right.
the lol suckers.
And can I just say, I hate the ones that literally will say verbatim, "Why are you laughing?" And it's like
Ugh,
a serious, "Why are you laughing?"
yeah.
And I'm like, babe, and like, and then my laugh gets sucked.
Yeah,
My
and then
laugh
I'm
is
like, I'm done. Then I don't even want to say anything else for the rest of the day. I want to fake
and
my own death when they say that. So, and then there's another type of lawler that a non-lawler that thinks they're funny, thinks they're a lawler, but they're not. I think those are worse than the fun suckers because then usually those people try to take over conversations with their non-funny jokes. And these people are like the kind of ones that joke about like they're like tiptoeing on the line of being problematic or misogynistic, like, or they are using Facebook jokes from 2006. Like if anybody
oh
says
man,
like something like all my personalities are arguing or something like that, like or like I'm trying to think of something else. Or if people are like the husband and wife, I hate my wife jokes. I think those send me like I don't even know. Like I'd rather be fishing like than hanging out with my wife or like something like I got my wife a present. It was and myself a present too. It's duct tape, like so she shuts up, like stuff like that. Where I'm just like,
are
what?
we in 2004? Like
Yeah,
I'm
like it's
confused.
not funny to hate your spouse, and also, being problematic isn't funny because it's just awkward and stop it. Like,
Right.
ugh,
And sometimes with those types of people, I'm like, are you saying this so literally no one will have anything more to, like you're really just taking up the
yeah, you're
full
killing the
dynamic
vibe for
at this point.
sure.
It's not vibey. It's
It's
not at
not
all
vibey.
vibey. We're all
Yeah, and I
different.
also hate the type of lawler that is like physical comedy or like bathroom humor. And I call that Amy Schumer humor.
Can you elaborate, please, on like an
Yeah,
example?
so Amy Schumer humor is like a fart joke. Like,
Mm.
oh
Yeah.
man, doesn't it sound crazy when your fart asks you a question? Like, "Mer?" And I'm like,
Wha-
ugh.
What?
Or like physical comedy where they're just like, I'm so silly. And they put a bag of chips on their head and their tongue's out. I'm crazy. Yeah, you're so wacky. So wacky.
Oh.
So that's Amy Schumer humor. Or if they like talk about like how much they eat as like a joke, like I'm so fat, I eat Doritos all the time. And it's like, bitch, who the fuck doesn't? Like, stop it. So like Amy Schumer humor is my one of my least favorite brands of humor.
Okay. Okay.
What's yours? What's your least favorite kind of humor?
Usually humor from men, hetero men.
Well, men are okay. Can we get into that really quick? Men are usually
Absolutely.
not funny. I besides like my siblings, my brothers, like they're hilarious. My dad is hilarious. Like
Same.
your dad is probably hilarious because you had
Yes,
to get
yes.
the humor from somewhere. But other than
Absolutely.
that, I draw blanks besides like celebrity comedians that are meant, and even that's few and far between that have made me
Right.
chuckle. But
Oh, you know what? I gotta stop you right because the best of the best that I love in the hetero world of comedians, Jack Black.
oh
Okay,
yeah,
Jack
she's always in a
Black.
place of Jack Black. Like we'll literally just be like, I'll be like, yeah, are you hungry? Do you want a burger? Like, yeah, Jack Black and Shallow Hal. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Drop me off right here.
And it's funny because like I would say everything that you just described that you don't like, Jack kind of like
Hey,
he is all of that
well, but the
a
thing
little
about
bit.
Jack Black is like he also is like not doing it as like a shtick that like is his actual personality, I guess.
Right, right,
And
right.
he has done some things that have made me chuckle, like when he was on The Office, like they're watching that fake movie, which Chelsea has never seen The Office. I'm so upset. But the episode where they're having a movie, they pirated a movie, and Jack Black is like in love with like an elderly woman, and he like watches her go up the stairs in like a one of those electric chairs that go up the banister, and like that's he was
Uh,
funny for me in that. He was entertaining in Jumanji. He switched bodies with a girl, and he had to like talk like a girl. He's like, oh my god, like that was like funny to me. But other than that, Jack Black is neither here nor there. I don't hate him. He's better than fucking Adam Sandler. I'm gonna tell you right now.
oh God.
Oh, if a guy ever says I my favorite actor is Adam Sandler,
Red
that's
flag.
literally run for the hills. Actually, call the
Immediate.
police. He needs to be arrested and
Skip a
detained.
step. Skip the red flag. Just
Yeah, straight to prison. He's a menace to society because Adam Sandler has been making the same movies since the 90s, and I will not stand for it anymore. I'm tired of it. I don't think he's funny. He seems like an asshole. Like he seems like he would not be fun to hang out with in real life. And he's friends with Rob Schneider, who Rob Schneider is like an anti-vaxxer and a weirdo. So
yeah.
uh
That whole crew, I've never really been a fan of,
I'm
to
not,
be honest.
they're not vibey.
They're not vibey at all.
No,
I
not
just like the
vibey at
very like
all.
I like the wacky weird I like the physical humor when you're not trying so hard like what you said, it's not like a shtick. Like it's genuinely like they're just so goofy and silly just how they are. That's
Yeah.
humor for sure.
I like dry humor as well. Like so I Chelsea also has never seen the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I won't hold it against her. But I love Larry David's like humor. It's like very dry, deadpan, like um it's like he doesn't have to try also. So I like a dry humor. Like that's kind of my humor too. Is like nobody sometimes if you're not intelligent enough, you don't know if I'm joking or if I'm serious. And I love that when people are like, huh? But yeah, I don't know. Humor, I feel bad for people who don't have a sense of humor. Like, I'm like, how do you get through life? How do you breathe?
And then it makes me wonder like was that did it come is it I know a portion of it does come from our parents and like whatever we were raised
Trauma.
with to an extent that of course yes.
Well, think about all the, the greats, Robin Williams, trauma.
Mhm.
A lot of Richard Pryor, trauma.
True. True.
Usually that's how people cope with things, is like with humor. And
Mm.
not saying I've been through like I was in like severe trauma as a child, but I've always appreciated like some situations that I could just like make a joke about, and that I was able to do that. So, and I think, yeah, you learn it from your parents. So,
But and see, that's the thing. Okay, would you say that I know you said that your father is funny. Do you say your mom is funny or like the
um,
humor? What kind of humor did you say?
okay, so my mom's funny on accident, but I know that she's funny to other people because other people talk, like older people are like, your mom was so funny in high school, like blah blah blah. I'm like, this lady right here. But also she's like the disciplinarian, so like I'm more scared of her than I am, about to laugh at her. So I think she's funny in a way, but my dad is like, he's done some things that have made me cry laughing. Like it's like a sitcom. Like it doesn't sound real, but it is. Like, okay, so let me give you an example of some. And my dad's like one of the people that's like naturally funny, doesn't have to try. So my dad is a amputee, and so he got his prosthetic leg and immediately didn't get the prosthetic leg for like his family to play outside, like whatever. He put his prosthetic leg on, and the first thing he did was go get Chinese food. And he walked with his prosthetic to the Chinese food place. Then he walked back, and my mom actually drove past him. And she was like, "Is that my husband?" And like he'll do stuff like that where it's just like, this is a sitcom. Like, are you Kevin James, King of Queens? Also, he's like very like, yeah, deadpan. Like we were watching RuPaul one day, and my dad loves a RuPaul moment. My dad
Really?
loves like the culture. He actually
Okay.
went to Pride by himself once and asked me, yeah, yeah. He was like, yeah, when like he'll do stuff like this, like, oh, my mom said, "Are you using my card for Amazon?" I'm about to get in trouble. See, speaking of pegs,
Love you, Peg.
so
Yeah.
anyway, so like he'll do stuff like, hey, I was downtown. I guess there's a Pride festival going on. You want to come down? And it's like, what are you doing? Or he'll be at a bar and he'll be like, and he lives in Wyoming. He'll call me from Wyoming and be like, hey, can you give me an Uber? I can't see. Like, what? What do you mean you can't see? Like, I can't see at night. Give me an Uber. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a completely different state, Lord Jesus. Or he'll just like, one time he texted me out of the blue the lyrics to My Chick Bad, My Chick Hood by Ludacris. Like he'll do stuff like that. And I'm just like, where did you come from? Like,
It's a
what is wrong
wacky
with
kind of
you?
guy. Wacky.
Wacky, wacky, wacky. So yeah. What about you? Is your mom funny?
I was just gonna say the same thing for Miriam. She's funny without trying. She's very more, I would say, on the serious level than funny. And it's funny because can I stop saying funny? That's
Yeah,
first.
quit saying funny.
It's interesting because when my mom and my father started dating, that was like one thing that they couldn't like mesh up with is the humor, because my dad's like everything's a joke with my father. Like he's sarcastic, he's very sarcastic, he's very just he's a everything's a joke, everything's a joke. So my mom didn't appreciate that because she couldn't tell when he was joking or not, so they kind of had to work within that and find a way uh to connect with that. Until this day, they still have some friction with the funnies, where she doesn't think it's funny, but me and my father will be dying, will be roasting her, and she's not always a fan of that. Not always a fan, but she's hilarious without trying. The expression. She's more of a physical
Expression.
expression.
Yeah.
The her laugh is iconic. So I would say just those types of things is what makes her funny.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
If you
Yeah,
could
I don't know.
contain
Like,
her
so
laugh.
yeah, when straight men aren't funny, I'm like, is my dad gay, or are straight men really just like few and far between when they're funny? But
Yeah,
also, I think my dad's gay. But that's neither here nor
that's
there. He
another
had five
story
kids.
for another
It's
day.
past the point of like, do I care? If he's using my mom as a beard, he's committed because it's been 35 years. So yeah. Shout out to Pegs and Marks. So is So Chelsea, can you tell everybody your sexual orientation before I get into this? Because I don't want to like be like, and the listeners like, what are you talking about?
Absolutely. So I am queer, from the queer LGBTQ, shout outs. And now I don't, so I would say like I'm gay, queer, lesbian. It just depends on how I feel per that day. Fluid.
Yeah.
I really resonate with all of those tiers of queerness. So
Hmm.
I would start today. I'm feeling a little fluid. I'm feeling fluid today, fluid and queer.
Interesting. So
So
everybody hide your wives, hide your husbands, hide your
please,
cousins, hide your
please,
sisters and brothers.
absolutely. I'm very I'm open to more of like energies that and people rather than a girl or boy or theys or them,
Yeah.
of that
You're
nature.
you're like a pansexual, if you will. Like you like everything as long as it's a good heart and soul and
Correct.
all
But
that
for some
all
reason
that
I
jazz. Huh?
yes, yes. But yet I have a thing with like I wouldn't refer to myself as pansexual because I don't know, it doesn't
Mm,
feel like it's for me, if that makes sense. Like
okay.
queer feels better for me. It feels like it fits better for me than to say I'm pansexual. But that's a whole nother thing. A whole nother thing.
Interesting. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I can't wait till one day where we don't have to be like, what's your sexuality? And everybody's just like, whatever. But we live in a very patriarchal, very like conservative in like nation. So I don't think that's gonna happen in our lifetime. Hopefully in I was going to say my kid's lifetime, but I'm not having kids that I know of anytime soon. I mean, your dad did ask me if I would carry the children. I said yes, because I have the childbearing hips if we did have kids.
Yeah, no,
So,
that should yeah.
okay, hold on. My mom is literally like, who ordered this off of Amazon and like trying to do an investigation? Well, this is what she gets for connecting her card to my Amazon account.
It's such a dangerous thing. If my mom ever connected her card to my
I
Amazon
was
account,
blowing it up. I'm not going to lie.
really? And what I mean, can you share any was there any like anything interesting that you ordered or
No, I literally ordered some citronella candles and a dog food bowl for my new dog.
uh,
Let's talk about him. Let's talk
let's
let's
talk
talk about
about
my new
it.
dog, everybody. I'm sure everybody really wants to hear this. So I have two cats, a dog, Jolene. Everybody knows Jolene. I've talked about her on the pod before because she's been barking in the background usually. I saw okay, wait, this is a whole thing. I last 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to get my hair done. I found this lady on Style Seat and she was like a mobile stylist. And I was like, hell yeah, I don't like going to like random people's, shops, quote unquote. And usually you find somebody on Style Seat that does hair. They usually do it out of their home and they usually have like a baby running around with a dirty diaper. I mean, that's just the experience I've had. So this lady came over to my house 2 hours late, which should have been like first, like, bitch, don't even come over. She comes in, she's supposed to do like a sew-in extension, and she comes in, she's like, oh, like, talking to me, and then I take out my bun, and then she sees how much hair I have. She's like, oh no, honey, I'm not doing that. And I was like,
Mm.
bitch. So then she starts roasting me about my glasses. I don't know. It was just like a very awkward experience. And she starts telling me that she's like dating some guy that bought her a car, and it just sounded very weird. And I was just like, please get out of my house. So anyway, she leaves. My hair's not done. So I'm like, okay, let me go do my own hair. I'm going to go to the hair store. So the hair store is like two skips and a jump away from my house. Get in the car looking trash, like pure trash, like true. I don't know. I look
We all
crazy.
have those moments, absolutely.
Yeah. So of course, so I see this husky when I'm at the cross streets, the major cross streets, and I'm like, that dog better not be trying to cross the street. So the light turns green. He crosses the street. I see him get hit at full speed by a pickup truck.
Hmm.
So the car keeps going. I stop my car. I'm on the phone with a friend too, like, and I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. So I hang up the phone, stop my car in the middle of this major cross street. It's on Camelback if anybody from Phoenix is listening. And I get out of my car. I call the dog over. He's like throwing up blood in the process. I open up my back door and he just jumps right in and lays down. And I was like, all right. And then a girl came up to me. She was like, oh my God, like what happened? And then she's like pretending to, or like mimicking like vomiting. And she's like, oh my God, he's like blood in his mouth. And I was like, what are you like? I was like, bitch, get away. And she was like, do you want me to take him? And I was like, no, like, what? You want me to take this dog that's already like been injured and move him out of my car to your car for what purpose? Like, get in the
Right.
car, white lady. So I leave, I speed to the emergency vet. I'm like, he's probably got brain damage. I always think animals have brain damage if they like get hurt. I'm like, that's it. Their brain is like not going to be able to function. Taking the emergency vet, they're like, okay, we'll, take care of him. Since he's not yours, he has a collar. You waive your rights to like the dog and like you don't have to pay for it. So the next morning, I just couldn't stop thinking about him. I was like, oh, I wonder if that dog is okay. So I call the vet place there. They could not be more bothered. They're like, hello. And I was like, hi, I dropped off a husky last night that got hit by a car. And they're like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I want to know if he was okay. I don't know. He's getting picked up by the shelter right now. So I guess you can call the shelter. And I was like, okay. And then they hang up. So I have to call every shelter in Arizona, and then they're like, we don't know if we have this husky, and we haven't gotten a husky from that vet, but we can't call you if we do. So I was like, I'll never see this dog again. It's probably dead. So a week goes by. I go to Vegas, turn the hell up in Vegas. I get a text or I get a call at first. Okay, so anyway, back to us. So we're talking about the dog situation. So I call every shelter. They're like, we can't tell you, blah, blah, blah. But then they text me, hey, they left me a voicemail. I didn't answer because I didn't know who it was. And they texted me and they're like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah from the shelter. We have the husky that you found at the emergency vet. If you would like to foster him, we'd like him to gain some weight before we put him up for adoption. Do you want to foster? And I said, hell yeah. So then the next day I pick him up or 2 days later, I pick him up from the shelter and he's literally skin and bones as a husky. And I named him Prince after the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh, okay. So that's the official name now,
Yeah,
Prince.
that's the official name is Prince. I call him Princey. He probably would answer to anything, honestly. But yeah, now I'm a husky owner. A husky, a mini poodle, terrier, chihuahua, Rottweiler mix. That's
We got a little bit
Jolene.
of everything.
And then I have a black and a white cat that literally could not be bothered with another dog.
Yeah, so how has that been going? How has everybody been coexisting? How does it feel to be a new mom?
You know what? It's a blessing to be a new mom and have a new baby. He's like really chill. Like big dogs are actually way more subdued than like little dogs, like especially well, just Jolene's out of control. Like she'd be barking at the wind, her own fart. Like I can't with her. And I love her dearly, but she's also like gets very stressed out if I leave or if I'm in a different room. This dog kind of just like feed me, give me water, I'm chill. So
Love that. We love a low maintenance dog.
love it. If my mom doesn't, everybody, I want you to know my mom is literally a FBI agent. She's trying to figure out who spent money on her card. She will not have it. So anyway, so yeah, me and Chelsea are, we met on Craigslist. We stayed friends IRL, and hopefully, you know, she continues to loll with me
Absolutely.
for the long haul.
I can't see another way. I can't see my life in any other way
Me
without
either. I mean, and then also we
always
took a road
smiles.
trip together and and she knows like the same songs that I do. And usually like people do not participate in a sing along. Like they try to talk over it. Like they don't like to sing and like have a road trip. Like that's what I always envision as a road trip is like you're driving on the highway and you're singing Britney Spears, you're singing Crime
Mhm.
Mob, the huge.
Yes.
But yeah,
Oh,
Chelsea
yeah.
knows all the same songs that I do and appreciates that I sing like nobody's watching or listening.
Absolutely.
And she is a great karaoke partner also. We just did another rendition of Evanescence on Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if anything, I'm extremely jealous that you know the lyrics to everything. So
I
then
I do because I it's all I used to do when I was little is like listen to music, watch MTV secretly because my mom's like, you're not watching, that's too grown. And yeah, listen to music and watch reality TV. So here I am. That's also how I turned out this way. Honestly,
oh yeah, we were talking about this.
what fifth grader is watching unsolved mysteries and getting scared that she's going to spontaneously combust? That really
I
set the
knew you were
tone.
going there with that. Okay.
Yeah, spontaneous combusting is was one of my it honestly it could happen. I just rewatched that episode and I was like, it could happen.
You still have to send me that episode as well. And can I just say, I just love the fact that with our friendship, even in the short amount of time, the road trips, the events itself, we've been in situations, if it's like socially, where it's been really like first of all, we're a comedy show together. That's number one. Number
Yes,
two.
we're obviously the main attraction.
Right. And so it's like we're always able to make it better and like make it work, regardless of how it's set up. I think back on the Vegas trip, the very first one, we had shout out to Michael.
Oh,
We were like make it.
and yeah, and like even though like you sometimes don't know like the references I'm referencing, as soon as I show you, you participate, like the Fergie
Yes,
doing the
absolutely.
cartwheels. The
Yeah,
fact that like you immediately understood why I thought that was so fucking funny
yeah, that
was
was
key.
iconic. One of the most iconic moments, like in the funnies
Yes,
category. There's
that's
been a lot of them.
probably like my top 10 was when Michael was doing the cartwheels while I was singing the Fergie. Whoa, whoa, no, 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 no. If you guys don't know, please look up Fergie Good Morning America
We can
and
link. Can we
you're
link
welcome.
the link of it of the video?
Yeah, I'll put the link
Show
to
notes.
the clip in the show notes for sure. So, um, do you have any other oh my god, that incessant beeping. How do you live your
I
life?
I honestly don't hear anything, and that just goes to show that I've been able to block it out. But that also goes to show that I'm able to block things out like that, and I don't even I don't even register after a certain amount of time.
I
I don't know if that's
see.
a good or bad thing. I don't
I'm
know if
scared.
that's my trauma right there, guys. I can block things out, and I don't even know.
My
And if I,
friend Yvette said she got her phone stolen because she's in Mexico right now and found the location and got it back.
wow,
Everybody that goes to Rocky Point, they've had a bad time. Like they stole my cousin's VIN number off of his car and took out a loan and also stole his debit card. Yeah, no, like serious crimes. Stole his
that's the
debit
most
card and then bought a
alarming.
subscription to Grinder. I don't even know what's
I,
going on in
I
Mexico.
I don't, but I'm glad to hear that she got her phone back. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
that's good. Sorry, breaking news, everybody. That was a breaking news bulletin. Um, so yeah, Chelsea's gonna come over to my house and put together a dog house and hopefully a gazebo, but mostly the dog house. That's way more important than the gazebo.
And also,
Um,
guys, I do have one
yes,
last thing I want to share. Um, Going back to me hosting roaming events, I actually have
yes.
two events coming up. One is a Mother's Day event I will be an MC for, and it's not just for mothers, it's for we all have a mother, don't do we not? So it's just celebrating obviously Mother's Day, the mothers in our lives. There's gonna be a massage person there.
So what's gonna be at this event?
Okay, so at this event we have a massage person, we have a manicure person. There's gonna be photographers there. It's actually at an art gallery in Mesa. Again, we can leave that information too as well. That'll
Yes,
be
I will put that in the show notes. I will
fabulous.
definitely link the Chill by Chell Instagram. And is your website's up and running?
We're about 85% there. So probably by the
Okay.
time it will be up and running
Okay,
very, very
perfect.
shortly.
And I'll
Very,
link that
very
as well. And
one
you have a
last
podcast.
I do. Oh, and one last. The next event that you and I will be a part of together,
Yes.
That one is coming up as well. The flyer will be coming soon. That one's Into the Jungle vendor event.
I still have to
Monday.
make the flyer. I'm sorry.
I know. Yeah, oh, today we'll get on that
Well,
ASAP.
I'll try my best. I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely.
I've just been so busy being a new husky mom. It's just
Absolutely. We get it.
really been,
Moms need that time. I absolutely.
yes.
But that will be happening Sunday, May 15th, and that'll be like a daytime vendor event. So super exciting. We'll have you DJing, and
Yes.
I'll just be running around like I do.
I love it. I love that for us. Um, so yes, follow Chill by Chell. It's Chill X Chell with one L on Chell.
Yes.
ChillXCHEL. Follow Chill by Chell if you want to see what she's doing, the cool events that she's going to be having around the valley. And before we go, I always ask this question. What is your favorite Britney Spears song?
Oh,
And there are right answers.
oh, I know. Can I do a top three? Because I don't know if
No, I only let you do one.
Ooh, we can't make an exception for Cho by Cho. We can't make an exception.
No exceptions, no favors.
Oof, all-time fave Britney song. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with I'm between Lucky and One Kiss from You. We'll go with Lucky. Lucky's an iconic.
That's a great song, great video,
Yes. And
everything
if you
about
think
it.
about it, she basically was prefacing what
Talking
her
about
life
herself.
is about herself, right?
Yeah.
Well, she's been going through it since then, and we were all just so like, this is,
Yeah, we're
you
like,
know,
oh, eating it up, eating it up. And
yeah,
meanwhile, she's suffering.
begging for
Everybody
someone
needs to
to
beg for
notice.
forgiveness. I'm so sorry, Queen Britney
Ugh,
Spears, Queen Icon
we
Legend.
let you down. That's
But she's free now. She's free to twirl around
yes,
in all those outfits as she pleases. And I am so happy for her.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
any last words before you come over here and put this fucking doghouse together?
Live, laugh, love.
Live last lawsuit also.
Yes,
I love
that
to
is.
sue people. So yeah, if it's day or night, love or light. Bye.